Religion is one of the main foundations of society. Countries use religion for the foundation of how their governments run and how families are run, to laws and how trials are run. From the oldest polytheistic religion, Hinduism, that is around 4,000 years old, to the oldest monotheistic religion, Zoroastrianism, which helped build the foundation for the three Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. As for George Washington said, religion is as necessary to reason as reason is to religion. The one cannot exist without the other. Religion helps explain why people are treated the way they are, especially women, and why they had certain roles they had to fulfill, and why they went through what they went through, and how we got to the day and age that we are in, and why many women are fighting to become equal just as men are. Point 1. History. Women for hundreds of years have been taught that they are inferior to men and that they are the property for men. From the medieval ages in Europe, where women had no rights to speak and they only could bear children, run the household, they were told to remain pure and they could only have sex with their husband, and no matter what they did, they should obey them, for they were to raise up their children, and then if their husbands were to die, they were to listen to their sons. Though throughout the centuries this has slowly begun to change, especially when women began to get an education and realized that they were just as equally strong and could do the things that many men were capable of doing. And things began to even take a more rapid turn, especially in the 20th century, when women were given the right to vote in 1921, and they were able to hold government positions, and they had an opinion on what could and could not happen. And they started fighting for more rights, such as being in the army, and be able to have a voice and get equal pay to men. For women did not get equal pay. But religion has held back many women from doing things, and many men use religion as the way to hold women down, saying that they cannot do this stuff, for they are too weak, too docile, and they need to be protected. Such as one group says today, posts I read. Today, a growing number of feminist faith activists are leading the way in re-examining religious teachings and laws, and advocating for women's rights for participation in the interpretation of religious doctrine. Many women, from Islamic groups to Christian groups, are looking at the teachings and realizing that women are equal to men. Muhammad taught that women are equal to men, that they can own property, that they can divorce, that can hold government positions, but in many Middle Eastern countries, they're not allowed to hold positions, such as when the Taliban came back in this past year. When Biden removed his troops, they took over the government, kicking women out of the offices, and now many women are running for their lives in fear that they will be killed. Many women over the years have defied what others have said and kept pushing forward with their dreams, and have made the impossible possible. One example is a woman in the Middle East who have fought the government positions and made better influence over women and create a gender equality, but as she was doing this, like I said before, the Taliban came over. Such as the Guardian Post said, the Taliban have debarred girls from going to secondary school since they took power in mid-August, producing a variety of reasons for doing so, and occasionally suggesting the ban is temporary. If you stop from younger girls having education and you teach them what they want to be taught, if you hit that younger generation, they will believe it. They'll be brainwashed into believing. The Taliban uses the Quran and distorts the word so women are below them and that they get all the power. If you stop that education, they're not going to know what's happening. They won't be able to have the say in the government that the men have. They won't have any power whatsoever. They'll just be in the home. They'll have to be quiet. And they'll all be matriarchal just before, and the ways will get just as dangerous for women. Culture, another thing. It plays a big part in how religion is taught and how women are treated. In the Native American culture, one of the oldest remaining democracies is around 800 years old and is mostly matriarchal. Though if you go to China, where Confucianism was taught, women lost their rights and property. They were the properties of their husbands, and they had to serve them. And if they died, they had to serve their sons after. They thought that if you were reborn as a woman, you did something in your past life so horrendous that you were born as a woman. It was better to be born as a man or an animal, because women were thought to be the softer, docile. In Confucius beliefs, the woman is the yin, the soft, yielding element, while the man is the yang, who is the masculine and domineering element. For the women, you're supposed to submit to the yang since the male, and while the yin was supposed to be graceful and elegant while remaining virtuous with honor. Throughout human civilization, many women have been taught that they are to serve others and to act as a certain way, and much of it is based off of religion and culture. Culture is based around religion. Both of them are centralized around each other. Like I said before in the beginning, many governments throughout the history use religion as why the world was created, and they use that the mandate of heaven, or that it's the king's right, that they were put in place by God to put down people and to keep their power, and to put women on the back burner, saying that women don't have the rights that men have because they were created that way for a reason. In the present, that women are fighting that women have equal rights with men, and that they should be able to do just the things as they do as fighting frontline in the army and being able to do everything they can do. Women throughout the years have been made to submit, while other cultures have women as equal men. The status are higher. Many advocates, especially in the 20th century, have begun fighting for women's rights throughout religions. And one person is Ustadiyya Aisha Prime, to many others. You can help a woman gain her voice by just stating, "I believe in this," or advocating it. If you want to help a woman gain support by advocating for other women and their rights, by educating yourself and learning and what is happening around the world. There are more and more people that are helping fight for women's rights and to give them equality to men and to other people, and you can make that difference. That little difference will make a big difference throughout history. In the conclusion, I have learned that throughout civilization, women have been told that they had to serve others and act a certain way, and much of that is based on religion and culture. Though many others teach equality, and many people twist it and teach something completely different than what is taught in the book or what the actual person taught. In the present, men and women have equal rights, and their voices should be heard just as much as men's voices should be heard. And if you work, and to be able to get what you want, you have to work for what you want, instead of sitting there saying, "Oh, I wish I could make a difference." But you can make a difference by speaking out and voicing your opinions and saying what should be right and what's wrong, and make a difference for the future generations to come.